welcome to Married with Clix. War of Light is over! Yay!
Yay!
So this past Saturday we just finished up our War of Light month 6 tournament, and we had enough boosters still left at our store to be able to do sealed. We were early enough to get a pack of Wave 1 and a pack of Wave 2. My Wave 1 pack had Rotmatru, Sinestro Core guy, recruit.
Oh!
Sorry. Boudica, and
Gallius? No,
Gallius was other things that I don't remember because I didn't use them. My other pack had a Black Reanimate, a Gallius, a Star Sapphire, a Guy Gardener. Oh, Blue Sade. Sorry. Sade from Blue Lanterns was in my Wave 1 pack, and Sister Cersei. That's what those were. And, sorry, Gallius said, Reanimate, Rancor, Star Sapphire Guy.
Recruit.
And,
or was that Guy Gardner?
And probably Recruit. Anyways, out of that, I wasn't too, I got one super rare in my last month. So, I didn't end up using him, though, because I went with Blue Lantern Sade, who has Indomitable and Invincible and a pretty high defense. She starts off with 18. She starts with Precision Strike and Incapacitate that does extra damage. And yeah, so she was pretty much I was like, yeah, she's going to be on my team. And then with her, obviously, came Sister Cersei. And then I put Guy Gardner on there, who's pretty good offensively with his running shot. And then, and his Uber Mystics. And then it was actually a toss-up as to what I wanted to put in there. And I didn't want to go with Rancor because I actually specifically built my team to be flyers. To not have anybody that was booted because of the way that the maps looked. One side was all just a ridiculous amount of scaling elevation, and then the other side was 5 points of elevation. So I wanted to make sure that I had maneuverability with my team, so it was down between Rotmatru and Boudica. And Rotmatru was basically doing almost the same thing that Sister Cersei was doing. He's got the Perplex down instead of the Perplex up. He's got TK, and he's got phasing on his front dial. So he's not really, his first click isn't really offensive. So in the end, I ended up going with Boudica because she could be a secondary good attacker for me, especially because I had all green with my lantern, and she was getting +1 to everything. So my first round, I went up against my buddy Adam, who's always lots of fun to play against. And so we always know, the two of us know going in, that it's just going to be a fun game. With my team, I wasn't expecting to get a lot of wins anyways. My team works well together, but didn't have a whole lot of output. Everything kind of went focused on Sade, even though Guy and Boudica had good attacks and good damage output. I knew that a lot of my team was going to be leaning on Sade doing big damage as well, mostly because she's got 9 range. So he had Fatality at her lower click, Miriam at Swamp Thing, and I swear there's something else, but I honestly just can't remember what it was. So he had come out almost right away aggressively to me in, we played on the 5-point map of Zamaron, which is Star Sapphire homeworld, and so he came out to the middle point, and I TK'd Boudica up to that platform, charged in, and attacked Fatality and Miriam, but he was able to shape change that away, so Boudica ended up being in a very bad spot. But that's okay because off to the other side I had Sade, who was just sniping away at people, and then to the other side I had Guy, who was running shot sniping. So I had 3 points of an attack, which was actually doing pretty good. Fatality and Miri Rima were stuck in the middle attacking Boudica, and Swamp Thing was kind of just using his special power to move around and creating lots and lots of hindering and attacking people with the hindering. So that was a lot of fun. Boudica died right away. I managed to take Miri down to where she didn't have her shape change or anything anymore, and all she had was super senses, and Sade's got precision strike, so I'm like, alright, well, I don't need you anymore. Both Sade and Guy were attacking Fatality, and managed to whittle her down, and he was able to attack back, so Guy got taken out as well after a little bit where he actually had a fun bit of pulse wave on Fatality. But he got taken down, and then it was just Swamp Thing, Sade, and Sister Cersei left. And we're getting near the end of the game, and he was coming after me with Swamp Thing, who had taken a lot of damage as well. And I wasn't expecting it, but he had hit a point in his battery where he was just dropping constructs, and he managed to land on the improved construct, Click, where he's getting +1 to all of his stats for how many constructs, and at this point, Swamp Thing had all 4 constructs that he had on his battery. So Swamp Thing was very, very deadly, and I didn't pay attention to that, and he came after Sister Cersei, and she got obliterated in one go, because he did like 6 damage or something. And then it was just Swamp Thing and Sade, and then time got called. So we were down to both our biggest point characters, but my biggest point character was more points than his, and my battery was more points than his, so I ended up winning that one. My second round was against our buddy Ryan, who actually comes to our house a lot, like every other week or every week, to play Heroclix with us, and you guys have probably seen like screenshots basically of our games or big battles that we have. He had gotten fortunate enough to pull a Red Lantern pack, so he had all Red Lanterns and the Red Lantern ring. So his team consisted of Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, Rancor as his Red Lanterns, with the red ring on his battery, and he put Rotmat Rue on there for the TK and to carry around his Red Lanterns, and Aricia from Green Lanterns to, again, carry around. Oh, and he had Dexter on there as his other Red Lantern. So his team was very close combat, very offensive, very in your face, and my team was still very good ranged, but the map didn't work very well to my advantage. I lost my Alpha Strike potential. He had moved forward into that 5-point, again, the Zamaron map, into the 5-point middle, and I TK'd Boudica up and did an attack on, I had done a bunch of damage to Hal. I got an attack in on Hal, and but it was only like 2 damage or something. Anyways, it wasn't big, and basically that left Boudica out there for his entire team to swarm her. So he swarmed in on her, and she was gone by that next turn. So I tried to bring, same strategy that I used against Adam, was bring Sade and Guy off to the points and try to strike in and snipe from further back on the map. But he had gotten the decoy down by that point and rolled a shape change that couldn't get around, so I couldn't attack his characters. And then he retreated, which put me in a very bad spot because he had already killed Boudica, so he's already got 75 points. And his entire team retreated. And while my team is good at range and offensively, all I have for attacking is Guy Gardner's running shot. So I had to do some very careful positioning that didn't really go well in my direction. He had gone down on the lower level of the map and come around the corner, and I had tried to go in, and Guy got taken out. So I was pretty much left with just Sister Cersei and Sade, who is not who I want to be left with at a point where nobody on his team has died. So I had to TK Sade out and snipe on Arisia and shape change. And then try and attack with Sister Cersei and shape change. And pretty much anything that was going to go well in my favor was not working, because he managed to, I don't think he missed a single shape change roll on his team, which was very, very frustrating for me. He took down Cersei, and then time basically was called, nothing died on his team, and he got almost my entire team. So final round, I got to play against another guy at our venue named Ryan, and he's a lot of fun to play with. He is a very high competitive player. He's not as competitive as he used to be, but he's a very competitive player, so it's actually fun playing with him, because he doesn't, he'll go all out against me. Like, he doesn't hold back or anything. He'll actually play really smart and do, anyways. So his team was kind of a mismatch of everything. He had Kilowog, Rancor, I want to say Salak. It's a Green Lantern guy that he couldn't pronounce the name of, so I'm not thinking of what his name is. And who else did he have on that team? There's another Red Lantern that I can't remember right now. But his team, he actually played it completely different than the other two people that I'd gone up against, was that instead of coming out to the middle and coming out aggressively against me, he went off to the side and was setting up, like, barriers and stuff, and slowly inching towards me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So I actually brought all of my guys off to the one side to match. We're both on the left-hand side of the map. And so he was inching forward, and I basically made a decision that I was going to go attack him. And I threw Guy out there. So I put Guy out there, and basically Guy did some damage, but then got swarmed. And, there was a Hal. It was a Red Lantern Hal. That's who it was. And so Guy got swarmed, but that gave me enough time to bring Boudica out there, and with a Perplex and her battery up and a critical hit, I managed to kill the Salak guy in one go. So that scored me some points, but unfortunately, Boudica died, like, pretty much the next turn. So it took out, like, half my team without even trying. I managed to kill at least something on his team, which was better than my second game. But then it left me with just, again, Sade and Cersei, and he got to move forward with Kilowog, which is just not a space I want to be in. And basically, I went out with Sade, and he started doing a lot of damage to her, and it was pretty much the only damage that Sade took the entire tournament. And he ended up actually taking Sade out, which is the first time she died in the tournament, and I was left with just Cersei. And so he had Kilowog left, and another character, and he had based me at one point, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, I don't really wanna run away, but I kind of have to. And I ended up running away with Cersei, but he still tracked me down with Kilowog and I believe Hal, and took her out. So it was actually a complete clean sweep in my final game on that one. So overall, even though I had 1 win and 2 losses in month 6, I still managed to finish the entire tournament run in 3rd place overall for our venue event points. So I'm happy with that, and I also still managed to get Star Sapphire on a fellowship. Which is actually, I think, the only thing I won in the entire tournament. Was the one that I wanted the most, which is my Star Sapphire, so I'm happy about that. So, that was my Warblade.
What? I already had the Necron going in. So this is one of those tournaments you go in. This is the first time that they're running this whole point system at our store. They didn't run it for AVX, which they should have done. Long story short, they didn't know. They didn't do it. That's it. So today was the day to fight for Necron. Or to fight for Carol Ferris, as I already had the Necron. But I wasn't really too excited about Carol Ferris, and I was already having a bit of an off day to start. So I cracked open my packs, and I saw nothing interesting as far as collecting goes, and very little to work with in regards to making a solid team. I had two really big blasters. I got a Katma from my Wave 2 pack. I got a Wave 1 and a Wave 2 pack. My Wave 1 pack gave me a Graftorn. Not a terrible blaster, but only works if he hits. Long story short on that one. I got a Blue Lantern Recruit and a Sister Cersei. Great support pieces, especially in this environment. 2 Perplexes on your team is not a bad thing to have. I got nothing important past there. My Wave 2 pack had a Kamatui, which we already discussed, and a Star Sapphire Recruit. So using Green Lantern Battery, a Kamatui, a Graftorn, my Sister Cersei, my Blue Lantern Recruit, and a Star Sapphire Recruit, I was ready to go. Kind of. Whatever. This was my attitude the whole game. It was a terrible attitude. I was just like, whatever. I'm not really in it to win it. I know a lot more guys in the tournament were more interested in winning than I was, so I didn't want to take that away from anybody. So I went into round 1 against local GTA guy Rory. He's come to the store a couple times. Good person. He had a good team. He had Weapon Record. He had a Green Lantern Power Battery, Lara, the red one, the Star Sapphire Recruit, a Weapon of Cord. What else is there to say? The Weapon of Cord came out, did some damage. He had a decoy on his weaponer, and then eventually he had a shield on his weaponer. Once the decoy had shrugged off some attempts at attacks, there was nothing much to say about it. He just slowly but methodically ripped me apart with the weaponer. I did manage to kill the Star Sapphire Recruit and completely wound Lara, practically taking her out of the game. He had Lara out by the green battery almost the whole game after I smoked her for like 4 or 5 damage. I can't remember how much it did to her. But she was all the way over at the green power battery for most of the game waiting for support to show up, which never showed up for him, unfortunately. But there was no hitting. There was, from my end, every big attempt at a hit either got shape change or roll away, or I missed the attack. Not much I can say about that. So I scored 45 points. He wiped my entire team of 500 points, and that was it. On to second round. Second round, there was a foobar with the pairings. Apparently my judge was used to hearing me say that I won. And put me as the winner in the first round, which I immediately had to correct with him afterwards because my opponent at the end of our game was describing his first game. I said, "Did you win?" He said, "Yeah, by a lot." Good. What? So he actually should have played against my opponent in the first round. So that big foobar kind of messed up my pairings and messed up my fun for the day because I was really not in it, and just getting thumped the whole time is not... What am I to say? I won 4 or 5 tournaments, so can't really complain that much, right? So my second round was against a fellow named Mike White, who I'm very cursed against. I have played this guy like 7, 8, 9, 20 times, and I have yet to beat him once. So there's always that guy you're cursed against, like, why can't I beat him? Why can I never beat him? Maybe he catches me on off days. Maybe that's got a factor in it. I don't know. It's not that important to me as it is because he beats me. He's at next goal. I gotta beat him if I'm gonna consider myself anywhere close to worthy of worlds worthy or nationals worthy. So, anyway, long story short, he had a weaponer on his team in the Syed or Ganthet, one of the two blue guys. At this point, I was sporting a nasty headache, and I was really, really not in it to pay attention. But I did have an attempt, a really big attempt at doing a lot of damage that got shape changed off. And then any big attempts that I had with reasonable dice rolls, let's say 6s, I was rolling 5s on. So when I couldn't hit a single attack, because the thing about my team is that every attack I made was big. Every time I hit would have been huge. Problem is that when you can't hit, you can't do huge damage. When you can't get past a shape change, you can't get huge damage. This is why I bring Battle Fury to tournaments now. I hate shape change. It is murdering me. So, that said, that game didn't go well either. In fact, I didn't even get a chance to kill anything this time because I almost killed the Sornak Natu, and then she got healed up by a nurse. So, that game didn't go well for me either. And I think my judge, having heard me complain to him about the first and second round, having to be against the second round, not being against a guy I should have been, I go into the third round against a guy who's also 2-0. Suffice to say, I wasn't playing against pairings I had any business playing, and it's not that my team was bad, it's that my team wasn't hitting. And if my team was hitting, people were losing, and it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening for me. So last round I was against Aiden, our ride-in, by the way. Thank you, Aiden. He was playing Parallax, the Hal Jordan Parallax. He was playing Salik, Green Lantern guy with all the computers around him. And the Yellow Lantern recruit, along with the Green Lantern power battery, with some stuff on it. So this was another exercise in shape change killing me. I did manage to kill everything on his team except for Parallax. But towards it got to a point where at the end of the game I had the Lantern on really the high level Clix, but I couldn't hit a 21 defense. And the game just started to go lower and lower and lower. I couldn't get a heal off on Katmatui, so if I couldn't heal her, there was no getting her back in the game. I tried to nurse her back up to health. Nothing was working for me. And for whatever reason, 20 defenses were not being missed against 12 and 13 attacks that day for me either. So suffice to say, I went 0-3 in the last month after having, I pretty much lost a game for every month that I was in the tournament beforehand. So I've now, if I was to actually add up all the losses I got, I would have one for almost each month of the tournament. So the long story short of it is, of course, I didn't get much of anything prize-wise. I didn't roll very well for the fellowship roll, but Amber did, so she got herself a Carol Ferris. But going into the tournament, I was already far enough ahead, I had a big enough lead, that I got my Necron. Pretty cool looking figure. Style-wise, I don't think he's going to be breaking the meta anytime soon, but I'm really looking forward to playing him. This is actually the first really big prize I've ever won with regards to Heroclix stuff, and I'm kind of glad that they've changed the system to the event point system, because this wouldn't be mine if it was. Because I choked big time on the last month, as I'm sure you just heard me say. But Comic Warehouse at 20 Strathern Avenue does a wonderful thing with their tournaments as well. There's an event poster that comes with these tournaments with the first month's prize pack. They get it plaqued, and the winner gets to take it home. So this now gets to go on my wall. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go on the wall that Amber usually sits behind, because this Superman poster is hers. And it really shouldn't be hovering over me. There should be a Hulk behind me, or this. So, hopefully very soon you will see this behind me as I switch sides on the board in playing our videos. I want to thank Max, the judge at Comic Warehouse, in spite of his month 6 terrible pairings for me. I want to thank all the players who played at Comic Warehouse and made it an absolutely awesome 6 months of War of Light. I want to thank Mark and Andrew, who run the Comic Warehouse, for giving us the chance to play in the venue. And I want to enforce that I really love playing at the Comic Warehouse at 20 Strathern Avenue, Brampton, in Ontario, Canada. If you ever happen to be by there on a Saturday at 2 p.m., come on, drop by and play some Clix with us. That's all for now with regards to War of Light. It's been a riot. We got this tournament still going on around this time, the time that we release this. Also, you'll notice my beard. I am doing No Shave November. So we'll put a link down below where you can donate money to man cancer. Have a good night, guys.